David played the harp, and because of that gift of him playing the harp, he did it exemplarily, professionally, and because of that gift, he gained access into the palace of the king, into the palace of King Saul. It is because of that gift that he had, that talent, that greatness that was inside him, that made him enter into the palace of the king. Despite the fact that he was still young, he was maybe not qualified to be entering into the gates of a king, and maybe he didn't have the stature to enter into the environment of a king. But the fact that he had something that the king was looking for, he had some value, okay? Because every time he would play the harp, Saul would come down. Saul would come down. So it's like David was King Saul's medicine. However small, however little he was, however trivial you may look at David at that particular moment, the fact remains he had some value that the king was looking for. He had some value that could not be found anywhere else apart from in that boy called David. We're talking about value. So it is because of that value that he had inside him, that value that the king needed at that particular moment, that value in David that was going to offer solution to the king, That is why David gained access into the palace. And we don't read anybody else being able to do what David did to the king. Not even the great people, the soldiers that were surrounding him, they could not do what David did. But because of what he did, he gained access into the table of the king. Good morning, karibu sana. This is your show, The Morning Lift, coming to you live from Bethel Clouds TV, hapa Nairobi mjini, the capital city of our beautiful nation, Kenya. Your host here, kama kawaida, Penny Njuguna, and so happy, excited, so delighted to be coming to you live this morning. It is such a beautiful, beautiful day that the Lord has made, that we may rejoice and be glad in it. Karibu sana once again. If you're joining us for the first time, make sure you get to follow our conversation on all our social media handles. Facebook page, Bethel Clouds Television, on our TikTok and Instagram, Bethel_Clouds TV, pale Twitter, Bethel_Clouds TV. Ukikimbia pale YouTube, Bethel Clouds Television. Make sure you subscribe so that you can get to find this content, so that you can see every time, you can get to be notified every time our show is live. Very happy to see you and to have you and to know you are listening to us wherever you are watching, all over the nation and outside the nation. We love you, we appreciate you. Karibu, let us do this. Remember, this show is all about empowering you. It's all about making sure that you go out there prepared, well packaged, well fashioned. And remember, we say nobody exists in an empty form. Nobody is an empty shell. We all have something that the world needs. We all have something that the world is looking for. So you are not a mistake. You are there because of a reason and a purpose and a very good agenda in God. Okay, so in whichever situation you're in, just know God did not create you to die there. He has a very good reason for your existence. And the fact that you saw this day, you are alive, you can hear me, you can see me, it means there's still some hope for your life. We're going to be taking a very short break, our first break, but when we come back, we will get into our topic for today. What do you think we are talking about today? Stay tuned.
Nilisikia mzuri sana na nikasema ni asante, mbarikiwe sana.
Namuona ni kama serikali yetu. Juu serikali haijali watu wazee. Lakini huyu anajali zaidi.
Alikuwa anajiita Mungiki. Sasa kuna wakati tulikuwa tunamhitaji kumchukua, lakini Mungu alimlinda.
Miaka 60.
Ulimjua Ndura kuanzia lini?
Nimemjua kuanzia leo. Nimetembea, nimekaribishwa ni wazee wengine na nimeshukuru sana.
Sasa mpaka hivi sasa tumekula, ametupatia chakula, ametupatia lunch time, nyama, mikate, ugali, na hivyo nasema Mungu amuongeze ili awe akizidi kushughulikia wazee kama sisi na wazee wengine.
Niko vile nilikuwa namsikia kwa redio mahubiri na kushika watu ni kitu moja mzuri na kuna heshima kwa wazee.
Nisikia habari ati tutakuja hapa, tutakuwa tumesijika.
Wow, karibu sana, karibu, welcome back. Thank you for keeping it Bethel Clouds TV, where we are empowering lives. And today we're going to have a very interesting topic, rather a very rare topic. Yeah, I would call it that way. And today I want us to discuss about your value. Remember, before we went for the break, I told you about King David. But before he became the king, you can read his story and you can see that there was at a particular time he played the harp for the king, his gift. And there's nowhere we read that he went for training in a certain college, in a certain university. This means it was something that was inborn inside David. And this thing that was in him, this talent and this gift, made him gain access to the king's palace. You know, your gift, your talent can make you sit with the high and mighty. But for you to get there, you have to first of all realize that gift and that talent. And when you realize that, you are supposed to enter into the reality that that is your value. Whichever area you are gifted in, that is your value. So what value do you have this morning? That is a question I'm asking myself, and you should do the same. Make sure you know your value. Make sure you know what you're bringing to the table. Because were it not for the gift that he had, David would not have seen the king, looked at the king eye to eye. And it is because of this gift that David had that the king surrendered to. Because once David played the harp, King Saul would relax, and we all know music is medicine to the soul. So King Saul needed something desperately. And until people need what you have desperately, you will continue to be irrelevant, you will continue to be of no use, you will continue to be just another person existing, you will continue to be a mediocre, you will continue to be useless before their eyes. So make sure you realize the value that is inside you. And one thing I will tell you for free is the world we are in right now, it is gravitating towards value. Yeah, that is the new law of gravity. But I'm the one who have invented that one. The world is the world is gravitating towards value. So before you say people don't love you, before you say people don't like you, before you say you're calling your colleagues, your friends, people who you used to know, and they are not picking up your calls, I need you to ask yourself, what value are you adding in their lives? Because I have realized naturally that is how man is wired. He will always go towards value. He will always look where value is. And nobody wants to be associated with someone who is valueless. And don't get me wrong, we have said nobody is valueless, but the fact that you have not entered into that awareness of the fact that you carry some value inside you, you will continue to live a life that is purposeless, and you will blame people, you will blame the world, you will blame everything at your disposal. But tell you what, maybe your mistake is the fact that you have not realized your value. And when you have not yet realized your value, you cannot be able to package it or to articulate it the way it is supposed to be. The world is looking for value. Do not forget that. When you rise up this morning, be sure that there is something that you have inside you that the world is looking for. You have something inside you that the world is waiting to see, to hear, and to have. There is a solution that you carry, just like David was carrying that solution for King Saul. There is a solution you carry that is needed by the universe. So don't die there. Don't sink into depression. You know, sometimes challenges, the environment can be so much harsh on us, such that we don't realize that inside us there is value. Inside us there is lying a solution. You know, when I look at a human being, one thing you should know, it is good to live an inspired life. Make every moment of your life to be a moment, a second of garnering inspiration from the universe, from the environment, from your surrounding. Listen very carefully, because the nature will always inspire you in many ways. So when I look at a human being, an average human being, I don't just see a human being. I see a pool of solution. I see a pool of value. I see an embodiment of everything that the universe is looking for. Could you be that person this morning? Could you be right there and you're not sure why you're existing? It is because you have not yet come into contact with the value that is inside you. Nobody is a mistake. Every one of us has something of value inside them. And that is what we are talking about this morning. If you're joining us for the first time, we are right here at Bethel Clouds TV. This is your show, The Morning Lift. And kama kawaida, your host here, Penny Njuguna. So happy and excited to come to you live from the CBD, the capital city of our beautiful nation, Kenya. I want you to ask yourself this morning if you're aware of the value that you carry inside you. Because we have said that the world is gravitating towards value. The world is following value, not the other way around. The world is following value. If you see people following you, if you see a group of 2, 3, 4, 5 people following you, know that there is something inside you that is feeding them. Every human being is a canopy. A canopy, and a canopy covers. When you see people following you, people liking you, people wanting to be friends with you, it is because there is something they have seen in you. And it is up to you. It is your responsibility to take care of that value. It is your responsibility to make sure that value gets to maturity. It is your responsibility to secure that value, because sometimes we may be involved, or we may be surrounded by people who who are looking to exploit your value. We are going to be talking about that shortly, but before we do that, I want to remind you to keep subscribing to our YouTube channel. Our SMS lines are open, our WhatsApp numbers are also open, and I'll be sampling some of them towards the end of the show. So keep them coming. Let us know where you are watching us from, and let us know what you think. If you have something you want to share with us, something you want to inspire us together with the audience, karibu sana. We are all ears. We want to listen, and we are ready to listen to you. So we are talking about your value. That is our topic for today. And we are asking ourselves, do we really know our value? Do we really know what we have inside us? Remember, we have seen that King David had something that made him sit with the king. So there is something that you can find inside you. There is something you can get hold of in God, and that something can make you become a wonder in this world. There is something you can identify about yourself. There is something you can discover about yourself, and that one thing you have discovered, it will make you become relevant in the face of the earth. It will make you it will make the world look for you. All right, so it is very important to look for that thing that is inside you. It is very important to make sure that what you have realized about you is well fashioned, is well taken care of, and you have entered into the reality of that thing. Because in most cases, the inborn talents and the giftings are what we take to the school and to the colleges to perfect. So make sure before you choose a career path, before you choose your destiny, make sure you have identified the value that is living inside you. Because once you identify it, you fashion it, you perfect it, it's gonna make you become a wonder in the face of the earth. And when you're talking about value, one responsibility I want to remind you is that value, you have to invest everything in that value. You have to make sure that your value is secured. There are some people who will come into our lives and they will exploit that value that you have. Do you allow people to exploit you? You have to sustain a high level of wisdom to know when you are being exploited and to know when you are being valuable. All right, we're going to be talking about that shortly, but in the meantime, let us take a very short break, get an inspiration or a song, and then we're going to be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. Karibu sana Bethel Clouds TV. Thank you for keeping it tuned. Thank you for keeping the watch. And as always, as usual, get on our social media handles where we continue with this conversation even after the show. We do this every day, and we are dedicated to making sure your life is changed, empowered, inspired, and fully packed and packaged, so that when you go out there, nothing will catch you by surprise, and you will conquer, because you're a winner. Nobody was born a loser. Nobody was brought into this universe to lose. Everybody is a winner. You only have to find that something inside you that was placed by God there, yes, when He created you. And He made you in His own image and likeness, and He told you, go, be fruitful, fill the earth, and have dominion. So this morning, that's all we are doing right here at Bethel Clouds TV. And today, if you're joining us for the first time, we are talking about value, the human value. And sometimes this human value is what we call human capital. Yes, human capital. Your value is your capital. Know that. That is why before we went for the break, I told you we're gonna be talking about securing that value. You see, the way we take valuable things like money, treasures, things that we hold in high value, and we take them in a safe place, maybe in the bank or something. That is the same way that God has hidden something of value, of treasure inside you. And that is the difference between you and God, or between us human being and God. Because when we want to hide things of value, when we want to hide things that we treasure, sometimes we will hide them maybe under the pillow, under the mattress, down there, but and some who are advanced will go to the bank, to the safe, and they will lock those treasure, that money, that's something that they value. They will lock it there, where they are sure that it is secure, where they are sure that nothing will happen to that treasure. That is the same thing with your Maker. He looked at you and you are his bank. He put something inside you. He hid a treasure inside you because he was very sure that when that treasure is inside you, it is safe, it is able to reach the world in fullness of it. All right, so you have a responsibility of securing that treasure, of securing that value. Guard your value with everything that you have. And we are talking about people who will come your way, and some of them will come and exploit your strength. They will exploit your value. They will exploit that talent. They will exploit your gift. You have to maintain a high level of intelligence to be able to distinguish between those people that are exploiting you and those people that are adding value to your life. Because once you have value, there is another character that you need to maintain, the character of wisdom. Wisdom has to become your character. Because without wisdom, you will have the talent, the gift, you will have that value, but you will realize that that value is not adding any value into your life, but it is adding value to other people's lives. And that is a very big mistake, because whatever is put inside you is supposed to come out of you in fullness of it. Remember, you cannot offer what is not flowing inside you in fullness, to capacity. So your value has to flow in capacity from you. Your cup has to overflow, to be filled to the brim, to the maximum, and then to overflow to your environment. So make sure you distinguish between those people that will come into your life to make your value appreciate, and those people who will come into your life and make your value depreciate. You are the only security man who can be able to guard that. You are the only person that can be able to guard your value. So make sure you guard your value with everything that you have. Make sure hata ikiwezekana chukua KDF. Take care of your value. Guard your value. Okay? Don't allow anybody to mess with you, to mess with your value. That is your human capital. And when it is well utilized, when it is well packaged, when it is well fashioned, that is what accelerates us unto our destiny. And nobody is a loser, everybody is a winner. Don't be lied. The universe is waiting for you to manifest. The universe is waiting for that talent, that gift, that greatness. And tell you what, you could be having a solution that we are looking for right now. But the fact that a factor that can hinder us from realizing or coming into contact with our destiny is you can have the value, that is one thing, and you can be aware of that value inside you. That is another thing altogether. But then again, your environment, your surrounding can limit you from getting to where you are supposed to be going. So we repeat, it is very important to make sure you distinguish between the things that add value to your life and things that make your value depreciate. You have to be aware of these two systems. One system is a system that makes your value appreciate. The other system makes your value depreciate. So you are the gate man of your value. You are the gatekeeper inside your value. You are the one who is going to choose which things you are going to allow into your life, which kind of people you are going to allow into your life, which kind of environment you are going to allow into your life. Remember, we said if you've been following this series, we talked about this man, the man that God created in his own image and likeness, and we said that this man is able to take care, to be the master of the universe, to be the master of the environment. So don't be enslaved by the environment. Don't sink into addictions. Don't sink into things that will make your value depreciate. And that is why we have professionals who will help you when you get yourself in such a situation. So it is very important also when you find that you have sunk into some habits, into some things that will make your value depreciate. It is a wake-up call. It is not too late. You can get help. You can access help, and you can be helped to get back into your feet. There are professionals that help people get back and realize their value. Make sure you surround yourself with things that add value to your life so that you can be able to be relevant in this time in your generation. And as we have been talking about David, the way he played the harp and he gained access to the palace of the king, it means there's something that you can find about yourself that can make you go ahead of your generation, that can make you go ahead of your time, that can make you go ahead of your age. Yes, you know, there are some people who are very young in age, but they are old souls. They are people that are an embodiment of immense amount of wisdom. There are people that they look very young, but when they begin to speak, when they begin to say things, they say things like they have existed 1,000 years before. Have you met such a person? It is a person who has realized the value that is inside them. So this morning, the assignment we have is to make sure that we are aware of the value deposited inside us, and when we realize that value, it is our responsibility to guard and to guide and protect that value, to make sure we surround ourselves with people, with things that will make our value appreciate, to cut off everything, every habit, every person that is making our value to depreciate. Remember, we have said your value is your human capital. Sometimes we don't have the luxury to play with this human capital, and most of the times we will be blended to think that the only capital that you can have is monetary capital. That is a very big mistake. We have a human capital, which is the value that is inside you. Make sure you realize that value, you take care of that value, treasure it, guard it, guide it, protect it with everything that you have. Secure it. You are the gate man. Hata nunua gun, secure your value. You know, because that is your human capital, and when you joke with your capital, nothing good will come out of you. This is your show, The Morning Lift, right here, Penny Njuguna, your host kama kawaida. Get in touch with us on all our social media handles. Let us continue with this conversation and let us know what you think. If you have a question, a comment, our lines are open. Our SMS numbers are also open. Let us take a very short break, but we are coming back shortly to continue with this conversation. Don't go away.
That you're a son, you're a daughter of God, And every daughter of God belongs to the kingdom of God. We are the children of a king. Therefore, we are princes and a prince. We are special and we are put somewhere and regarded as special people for the kingdom of heaven. And whatever that you're going to do today is going to be a blessing. It's going to be a manifestation of God's will, God's power, God's authority. It will be a manifestation of what God wants us to do. It will be a manifestation of the will of God upon mankind. You need to just be worried of anything. David was not worried of anything, but he was sure that his God will do it. He faced Goliath and told Goliath, you know what? You are coming to me with your weapon, your sorcerers, your whatever things that you are coming with me, but I will come to you with my God. Nobody is expecting you to win this battle. Nobody is expecting you to become. Nobody is expecting you to conquer anything. But I want to tell you, with your God, you will conquer. With your God, there is success. With your God, wewe ni mshindi. Believe in him, trust in him, just go to battle. Fight it with God. You will make it. In Jesus' name.
Wow, amazing to have you, to know that you are watching. It is such a wonderful and such a beautiful morning. It is always a delight to be coming to you right here, Bethel Clouds TV, and to do what we do the best, inspiring you and empowering you and making sure that we bring out the best inside you. Remember, we've said nobody exists as an empty shell. Everybody has something inside them, and that is the value that we are plucking out this morning. That is the value we want to come out this morning, and we want to have everybody in their winning position. We want you to go out there this morning knowing that you are important, knowing that you are special, knowing that God has you. God got your back, and God made you, and he made sure that he has blessed you. Remember, we said in Genesis chapter number 1, when God was creating man, number one thing that he did, he blessed man. When he was done with creating him, he blessed this man, and after blessing him, he told him, go now and be fruitful. So you are blessed originally, authentically, you are favored. Okay, so no other situation that can bring you down, no other situation that can make you not become what God intended you to become. If you're joining us for the first time, this is your show, The Morning Lift, and this is your host right here, Penny Njuguna. Today we are talking about the value that you have inside you, and we have insisted that your value is your human capital. So you really need to take care of your value the same way that you take care of your money, because that is what will make you get to your destiny faster. That is what will make you accelerate unto your God-given purpose and your God-given destiny. And we have talked about David. We have said that he was able to play the harp, and the kind of music he was playing, it was able to make Saul calm down. Ilikuwa inamtuliza, and there is nobody else that could have done what David did to the king. Can you imagine the king looking for you, the king searching for you, the king saying, go and bring such and such a certain person? Could that be person be you? Yeah, it could be, if you come into the realization of the value that is placed inside you, if you come into contact with that human capital that is lying there inside you. You could be offering us solutions by your gift, your talent, and the thing that is placed inside you. And we have talked about, as we wind up, let us talk about guarding your value, taking care of your value, securing your value. You see the way we send our KDF, our Kenya Defense Forces, to secure our territories. You know, we send them armed to the core to secure our territory. That is the same way you're supposed to guard your value with everything that you have. Don't allow anyone to take your value for granted. Remember, that is your human capital, and that is what will make you relevant in this time, in this age, and in this generation. So take care of your value, because it means a lot in this universe. That's what we're talking about right here, and we have said it is up to you to maintain a high level of intelligence, and we have said when you realize you have value, it is time now to have the character of wisdom. Remember, wisdom comes from God, so he's the only one who can mold that character in you, the character of wisdom, so that you can be able to tell, to differentiate between the people or the things, the habits that make your value appreciate, and you can be able to tell and to cut off the things and the people that make your value depreciate. All right, so if I were you, I will make a point of surrounding myself with the positive vibe, with people who make my value appreciate, people that are ahead of me, people that I will learn from. One thing that I love in this life, I love learning, and every second is a learning second for me. And it is always good when you see people ahead of you, you see people that are more valuable than you. It is good to submit to them and learn a thing or two. Remember, life is the best teacher, and the time is the best teacher, and these two are combined. When you garner experience from these two, you can become the greatest person to have ever existed. Remember, this is show The Morning Lift, and we are saying nobody is a mistake, nobody is existing in an empty form. And if you're joining us for the first time, today we were talking about the value that is inside you, and we have concluded by saying that is your capital, that is your human capital. So take it to the bank and take care of it, guard it, guide it, protect it, and make sure nobody plays or jokes around with your value. Maintain a high level of intelligence and wisdom to differentiate between things, habits, and people that will make you not get to your destiny. Wow, amazing to see you, to have you on your show right here from Bethel Clouds TV, where we are empowering lives. If you have a comment, a question, anything you would like us to talk about, karibu sana on all our social media handles, also on our WhatsApp and our SMS lines. They are open. We are here. We are ready to listen to you. If you have a challenge, or maybe a habit that is oppressing you and you're not able to counter it, you can also reach us. We have professionals that can help you with that. We have professionals that can help you get back to your feet and realize your value. Remember, we have said that man was ordained, or he was originally put into this world to become the master of his environment. But sometimes we find ourselves in situations that make us become slave to our environment. If you have found yourself in any of such situation, any contradicting situation, don't give up, don't die there. Reach out to us, let us know how we can help you, and we'll be delighted to hear from you and to interact with you. We have come to the end of our show for today, but don't go away, because we have a lot of programming lined up for you to make sure that your day is well packaged and your day is well fashioned. Go out there, be fruitful, and know that you're valuable. Make sure you take care of your value. Make sure you guard your value with everything you have. Take care of your human capital, and let us meet tomorrow, same time, same place, inshallah.
nimesikia mzuri sana na nikasema ni asante, mbarikiwe sana.
Namuona ni kama serikali yetu, juu serikali haijali watu wazee, lakini huyu anajali zaidi.
Alikuwa anajiita Mungiki. Sasa kuna wakati tulikuwa tunamhitaji kumchukua, lakini Mungu alimlinda.
Miaka 60.
Ulimjua Ndura kuanzia lini?
Nimemjua kuanzia leo. Nimetembea, nimekaribishwa ni hii wazee wengine na nimeshukuru sana.
Sasa mpaka hivi sasa tumekula, ametupatia chakula, ametupatia lunch time, nyama, mikate, ugali, na hivyo nasema Mungu amuongeze ili awe akizidi kushughulikia wazee kama sisi na wazee wengine.
Niko vile nilikuwa namsikia kwa redio mahubiri na kushika watu ni kitu moja mzuri, na kuna heshima kwa wazee.
Nisikia habari ati tutakuja hapa, tutakuwa